Hey, what's up everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about some new leaks that we've seen in Off the Grid. It's going to be a few content packs, a couple weapons, and a couple cyber limbs. Most of these were posted on Twitter by data miners who were mining the game files for information. The main data miner is Jesus Black on Twitter, also known as Panda Corporation. Shout out to him, thank you for these. Right now we're in a bit of a lull. We're waiting for mainnet to fully launch here on April 24th. That's when they're going to be rolling out the first few select players to be tested on mainnet. They're not doing everyone all at once, they're doing small portions of people to slowly fix any bugs that they might come across. Our battle pass is supposed to run out today. We're still currently waiting as of this moment on April 14th. We don't know if there's going to be a new battle pass, if they're going to extend it and add a couple new pages, or if we're going to get a new content back. So with that being said, let's get into some of the leaks that we've seen so far. So like I said earlier, this is about data mining or APK file mining in the game files, specifically the ones that I know were data mined in the game files that we can confirm will be coming are the two content pack sets I'm going to be showing, and then the shock blocker legs I'm going to be showing. Other than that, all of this I can't confirm is actually going to be in the game files, but from an insider source there is a lot of confirmed information about these gun variants that I'm going to be talking about and the few cyber limbs that I'm going to be talking about that are not currently in the data mineable game files. So with that specifically being said, let's get into it. Alright, so this is our new first confirmed off the grid set content pack that we're going to be getting in the future. Solid red and black set, as you can see here, and then if I zoom in right here on the face mask, you can't see it very well, but if you do zoom in on the photo like this, you can see that it says perfect 0 here. I'm assuming this looks like if you played in the early access at any point before the game fully launches that you will be getting this. So we don't have an official date of when this is gonna be in the game or anything like that, but I can tell you that this will be in the game officially one day. Alright, for the next content pack we have here, it looks like it's going to be based off like an engineer build. He did find context in the APK file. It says, emote, show them what your true passion as an engineer is, using lethal chemicals to set shit on fire. I'm going to assume that this is like some hazardous engineer pack, so I'm just going to call it engineer. It looks pretty cool. You can see here it says nice on the teeth, I believe. But you know, that's a pretty cool skin if you ask me. The goggles and whatnot are also rather cool. Looks like a mad biker set here, but it looks, you know, I think this is gonna sell well and whatnot. So this is what the shirt is gonna look like up close. This is what the vest is gonna look like up close. 811. This is what the pants are gonna look like up close. You can see it says die here. A lot of middle fingers all on this item. That's pretty cool. I like that. You can see here with this Flenser, it's got this like skull type thing going on again, and that's a pretty cool jetpack if you ask me. So once again, this is another confirmed content pack. We can say this will be in the game at some point officially. Do we know when? No, we don't. Do we know how it's going to be released, whether it's going to be a content pack or whether it's going to be in the battle pass? No, we don't officially. All right, let's get on with our last confirm item that is currently in the APK game files, and it is the shock blocker legs. Now these have been confirmed to be in the game files. As you can see, this is the game UI, so you can see that this is like actually going to be in the game at some point. Do we know when? Once again, no, we don't. We don't have anything confirmed for that, but I do want to just zoom in here and read this for you. So it says shock blockers. These legs come equipped with the latest in electronic force shield technology, unfurling an electrified shield tall enough to crouch behind, and it stays put, a strategic spot to bolt behind. Plus anyone that comes into contact with it will discover what the electric chair feels like. Deploy a force shield tall enough to crouch behind for portable cover. It can be placed down for strategic cover. When an enemy comes into contact with it, they will receive a shock effect that temporarily disables their limbs and causes slight disorientation. Shield can be destroyed with firearms. So it's essentially going to cause the paralyzer effect when you get shot with a dart or when you walk through a dart, is what I'm assuming from that. Exactly what it's saying here. Shield can be destroyed with firearms. They're just saying if a person puts down the shock blockers, you can shoot it and it will destroy. Now does it mean that this person is going to be able to put down multiple shock blocker walls essentially? I'm assuming it's not just going to be one. I'm not sure. It doesn't say anything here specifically about how many we're going to be getting, but these look cool. You know, I'm always down for more variants in what limbs we can be using. I think a balanced meta is what we need, and right now it really seems like everyone's running Roadrunners, but I am open to seeing what shock blockers could do for the game. Alright, so that was the last confirmed APK file leak that I have right now. Now let's get into some speculative leaks from an insider also known as Panda Cola Corporation. Just a quick reminder, if you have been enjoying this video and you want to watch more Off the Grid, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe because I post Off the Grid weekly. I also stream a lot of Off the Grid and other variety games. All your support is a great help and really keeps me motivated to keep making more content. Alright, so right here we have the Zero Sum Cyberlimb. It says fire guided missile, cyber arm that doubles as a missile, launch it then guide it in first person view mode to its final explosive destination. Note that it's a single use limb. Once launched you'll need a new arm. Now it says when they asked OTG Armory to make the most lethal cyberlimb they could, they knew what to do. Just stick a hand on a missile and call it a day. First person guidance, massive destruction. The only downside, it's single use. So you'll have to go arm hunting after you cause Armageddon. So if you ever played Call of Duty and you used a Hellstrike fire missile, it's a lot like that, I would assume, where you call it in and it leaves your arm and then you watch it through a camera and it comes back and hits whatever target you drive it into. Now it does say here that it's going to be a one-use limb, so once you use it you're going to have to pick up another arm. I still think that's an even, loss right there, depending on how much damage it does and whatnot. We're going to obviously see some tweaks if this does come to the game. So that's pretty cool. I think this would be a nice addition to the game. How do I think it would play in the game, in the meta? I have absolutely no idea. But let's go ahead and watch a clip here of the switcher video that Off the Grid has posted on their official channel that you can watch. I'll put that in a link in the description below, and this is what it will look like, I assume. Now obviously in this video you're going to see the arm didn't detach, but let's look at it. Let's get into our next leak of Cyberlimbs, where it's not guaranteed in the APK game files, but it is still from our insider source, Panda Cola Corporation. Alright, so these are Cyberlimbs, they're legs, and they're called mirror breakers. It says create a hologram. Nothing draws out enemies like a couple of unwitting bullet sponges. With the mirror breakers holographic technology, you get to deploy a mirror image of yourself out into the field, drawing fire, revealing enemies, even triggering mines. It's an expendable twin, the Ashley to your Mary Kate. Now that's interesting, okay? Where have we seen this? Kind of in another game would be like Mirage in Apex Legends. I'm sure there's other examples that I can't necessarily think of off the top of my head, but that's the one that really comes to me. It doesn't necessarily specify how you're going to use it in game, whether it means like it's going to be a mirror image of you 10 feet in front of you, 10 feet behind you, 10 feet to your right, etc. Whether it's going to be delayed, whether you're going to be controlling it in real time while you're crouched somewhere in a corner and it's, your hologram running around. It doesn't specifically say. Do I think this would be a great addition? I do. How do I think it would play in the meta? I don't really know, but I think it would have some great uses when you're a solo trying to survive or trying to, enter a building end game, and you don't want to cause damage to yourself because you hear trip mines everywhere but you can't see them, so you use your mirror image to go in and clear them out. I think it's going to be a great addition if it does end up making it to the game. Let's get into our next few leaks. Once again, these are not completely confirmed in the APK game files, but they are talked about once again from our insider source, Panda Cola Corporation. These are going to be weapon variants. All right, so we have the Mavinga controller. It says aiming fast, hitting harder, moving slower. Go for those close fights and couch warriors. Long range, that's a PC turf. No free subscriptions included. Skillful hands and aim assist required. So it's saying Mavinga controller, aim assist required. I'm assuming it's going to have insane amount of recoil, close range gun, etc. Sounds like a pretty cool variant that we're going to be getting. Maybe it'll actually be a Mavinga that people actually use for once, because I haven't seen someone run it in a loadout for God knows how long. Alright, the Flenser Chem Tech like VX. This bad boy might take a second to get up to full power, but once it does, it's devastating. Increased damage to limbs, wider projectile spread, and reduced recoil. Perfect for the Zero who loves mass casualties. So the Flenser Chem Tech like VX sounds like it's going to be this weapon, so we can go ahead and assume that this pack here, the orange pack we have coming, is going to be the Chemtech like pack, I guess. But that's going to be an awesome gun. It's going to be a variant, it seems like. So is that going to be in a content pack? I'm not exactly sure. The Proton Drifter. Built for aim and pain, good luck hauling this beast around, because when you can, it snaps to targets fast. Recoil like a jackhammer, all vertical, nothing sideways. Its long range power establishes your rules. This is now your territory. Alright, so the Proton is a great weapon. It's a good marksman rifle. I really think that it might come back into the meta here soon. A lot of people have been smacking me with it from a range. It's just if you miss your shots, that's pretty much it. But the Proton has a great few attachments on it that no other gun has in the game. It's got this like barrel cooler attachment that just really allows you to shoot faster, be more accurate, and do more damage at like range with velocity. So I'm cool to see any Proton variant that we get in the game. Alright, with our last leak, it's going to be more weapon variants, and once again, these are not completely confirmed to be in the game APK files. Alright, we have the AZV-100 Pilot. Fast, accurate, and deadly, this AZV-100 mod is designed for pilots dropping zeros onto teardrop. It features reduced recoil, faster aiming, and unmatched precision. Perfect for tight spaces like a cockpit. While less harmful to cyber limbs, it delivers a devastating shots to the head and torso. So the AZV-100 right now is pretty godly if you have the doomed player 0 variant. Personally, I struggle with burst weapons on this game. I don't know why, it's just this game for me. Maybe it's the third person. Maybe it's the lack of aim assist, I don't know. Alright, the Hawk Cleanup Crew. This lightweight LMG is built for long range takedowns. A real killing machine. It's quick aiming, but slightly slower in reloading. Deals more damage to flesh and less damage to metal, because Cleanup prefers organic leftovers. So the Hawk Cleanup is going to be a nice variant. We don't have any LMG variant that's like useful right now in the game. There's a few like boom slang ones, but I don't really see anyone using that. But the Hawk Cleanup is going to be awesome. I think this might be one of the first variants we see here soon, because we've gotten a lot of variants in the ARs, SMGs, and shotgun ranges, and what else does that leave is LMGs, marksman rifles, and snipers. So I believe we might get an LMG or marksman rifle variant next in our next season. The Piercer Mouse, a true PC gamer's experience. High precision, low speed, unexpected sway, and reloads that feel like driver updates. Reduced horizontal recoil and increased vertical kick means you'll stay on target, just not the one you were aiming at. So the Piercer is a really good sniper right now. It's smacking limbs off almost like a ripper at range. If you're good with a sniper at range, you should try out the Piercer for sure. I'm not into the sniper play on this game that much, just because I'm more into fast-paced movement, and even if you're gonna say use the no-scope Kestrel, I'm completely against that. It's not fun. It's not fun to use it. It's not fun to have someone use it on you. So once again, try out this new Piercer if we do end up seeing it come to the game. Alright everybody, once again, all these leaks did come from Black Jesus, also known as Panda Cola Corp. So if you do want more information to be up on the leaks, what's new and off the grid, what may be coming and whatnot, go give him a follow. But with that being said, thank you everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I taught you some things that might be coming to Off the Grid. Get you back in here if you've been taking a break, because it's about to pop. We're getting our mainnet update starting on April 24th. People are going to be rolling into it. Not everyone exactly yet. At the end of April, I assume around the 24th, we're also going to be looking to a new update where it's cross-play invites are allowed. You're now going to be able to play with your friends on Xbox if you're on PS5, on PC if you're on PS5, on PC if you're on Xbox. It's awesome. Get your friends on, get together. All right, everybody. Peace. Have fun in Teardrop, and I'll see you in the next one.